my virtual library tour. I wanted to start off by showing you different genre tabs. I have contemporary realistic fiction, fantasy, historical fiction, information bibliography, literature representing diverse populations, poetry, science fiction, as well as traditional literature, folk tales. Some of these books that I have read, I would use for my classroom, I would utilize in lesson plans. However, I'll be going over a select few and just go more in depth with them and really talk about how I would utilize them in my classroom. First, I wanted to go over with you what I got out of this project. This project opened my eyes to new books and definitely new genres. Had I not done this, kind of broadened my horizon, I wouldn't have really utilized the amazing books that could be used in my classroom. I feel that I was able to look at the books from a different perspective. I tried to look at the books from an educator standpoint. I thought about how I could utilize certain books and what the lessons I would teach would look like. How could I utilize a lesson or books for civil rights movement? What could I do with that? How could I teach the children in a way that they would enjoy, maybe a Jane Goodall book? However, I'm going to go into what my favorite book was. My favorite book happened to be Wonder by R.J. Palacio. I feel that this book would be great to read with a fourth grade class. I feel that it's definitely age appropriate. That's the age where, children start to notice the differences in each other. They start to notice and compare. They start to, bullying kind of plays a good role at this age as well. So I think I would do a lesson in what kindness looks like, how to be a good friend. I also would talk about the differences that each one of us possess and that we should be proud of. I also think that this would be just such a game changer for the fourth grade students. Now, moving on to my least favorite. My least favorite would be Cathedral by David Macaulay. This book just didn't jump out at me. The pictures were, the whole book was black and white. Yes, it had pictures to it. The pictures were kind of blah to me. I don't really feel that I would utilize this too much in my classroom. I definitely would have the students, look over it, but I would use this more of a book that would be used with maybe 6th to 8th grade students. I don't think I would ever introduce this to anything younger in elementary students. However, I just didn't feel that it was a book that I loved. It didn't jump out again, as I had said. Now moving on to books that I would use for my future class. One of the books that I would use for my future class would be The Snowman by Raymond Briggs. This book is just such a powerful book. It brings to life the book with just pictures and no words. And that to me makes it so powerful. You are able to use your imagination and just flip through page to page, and it tells you a story without any words. So I definitely would utilize this with my children. I think I would do more 2nd, 3rd grade with this book. And I would have the children write and not produce, but I would have them create their own books, their own storybooks. Children, I believe, like the flip books. So I think they would love to do something like this. Maybe build just, from each page to page, it shows emotions and the different features of the story with no words. Again, I think this is such an awesome book to have the children utilize and study off of, create a lesson plan. Next, my next book would be Where the Sidewalk Ends by Shel Silverstein. I would utilize this as a lesson plan for the children by having them create their own poem or haiku. Again, this book is one of those very jump at you books. The poems are awesome. They're just quirky. They're something that children love. And so I would have the children kind of use their imagination to work with this book and create their own poems, as well as, a little picture to go with it. I believe that either one, the Where the Sidewalk Ends or A Light in the Attic, would probably be something that I would definitely utilize and have a lesson plan for my classroom. Thank you for going on this tour with me, my virtual library. I hope you enjoyed it.